The envelope. My name is Leo Marchand. I am a private detective in Marseille. My office is small, on the third floor of an old building near the old port. There is a table, 2 chairs, and an old lamp on the table. The window is dirty, but I can see the boats from here. That morning, I came to work early. The sun was rising over the port. I opened the door of my office. On the floor, there was a white envelope. I picked it up. There was no name on it. No stamp, no address. Someone had pushed it under the door during the night. I sat at my table and opened the envelope. Inside, there were 3 things: a photo, a small note, and money. The photo showed a man, about 50 years old, in a gray suit. He was not smiling. He had short brown hair and a thin face. The photo looked like a passport photo, but bigger. I turned the photo over. On the back, someone had written, in capital letters, "Find this man. 1,000 euros when you find him." The note was very short. "I will contact you. Do not look for me." I counted the money. 200 euros, in small bills. I did not know this man. I did not know the client. I did not know what was happening. But I had 200 euros in my hand. "All right," I said to the empty office. "Let us find this man." Chapter 2. The Old Bartender. The first thing I did was make copies of the photo. I went to the print shop across the street. The young woman at the shop made me 10 copies. They were not perfect, but good enough. I put the copies in my pocket and went out. When you are looking for someone in Marseille, you start with the cafes and the bars near the port. People come and go. They drink. They talk. They remember. I went to see my old friend Marcel. Marcel owns a small bar called El Ancre, next to the fish market. He has worked there for 40 years. He sees everybody. "Hello, Marcel," I said. "Leo. Good to see you. A glass of red." "Not now." I put the photo on the bar. Marcel cleaned his glasses and looked. "Do you know this man?" I asked. Marcel looked for a long time. Then he shook his head. "No, I have never seen him." "Why?" "A client wants me to find him." "Who is the client?" "That is the problem, Marcel. I do not know. Someone pushed an envelope under my door last night." Marcel looked at me with serious eyes. "Be careful, Leo. When a client does not show his face, he is hiding something bad." "I know, Marcel. I know." I left 5 euros on the bar for a coffee I did not drink, and walked back into the street. Chapter 3. The Hotel Mistral. For 3 days, I showed the photo to many people. Bartenders, waiters, taxi. Nobody recognized the man. On the 4th day, I had luck. I was at the Hotel Mistral, a small 2-star hotel near the train station. The night barman, Jerome, was washing glasses behind the bar. I gave him the photo and a 10-euro bill. Jerome looked at the photo. Then he smiled. "Yes, I know him. He was here last week. 2 nights. My heart started to beat faster. "Are you sure?" "Very sure. He was a strange client. He paid in cash. He did not eat in the restaurant. He did not talk to anyone. He stayed in his room all day." "Do you remember his name?" "Of course. The receptionist wrote it in the book. Wait." Jerome went to the reception desk. He came back 2 minutes later. "Henry Vacher. From Lyon." I thanked Jerome. I left another 10 euros and went outside. That night, in my office, I called many hotels in Lyon. I asked if a Henry Vacher had stayed there in the last 6 months. By midnight, I had called more than 40 hotels. Nobody had heard of him. Henry Vasher did not exist. Chapter 4. A second buyer. The next morning, my phone rang. It was Jerome, the barman at the Hotel Mistral. Leo, it is Jerome. Listen. Yesterday, after you left, he asked about the same person in your photo. I sat up in my chair. Tell me everything. He was tall. Gray hair. A gold watch. He wore an expensive black coat. He gave me €50 and asked if anyone had been at the hotel asking about Henry Vasher. What did you say? I am sorry, Leo. I told him about you. He paid me a lot of money. I did not know it was a problem. I closed my eyes for a moment. It is all right, Jerome. But please, if he comes back, do not tell him anything else. I promise. I put the phone down and looked out the window. Now I had a problem. Someone else was looking for the man in the photo. Someone with money. Someone and now that someone knew my name. I had to find Henry Vasher before they did. Chapter 5. The Black Car. That afternoon, I walked to my car, parked on the street. My old Peugeot is gray and tired, but it still runs. When I started the engine, I looked in the mirror. A black car was parked across the street. There were 2 men inside. I pulled out into the street. The black car pulled out too. I tested it. I turned right. They turned right. I turned left. They turned left. I drove fast, then slow. At a red light, I jumped out of my car, ran across the street, and into a narrow alley. The 2 men did not have time to follow. I heard their car horn behind me. I went to a friend's apartment, not to my office. I needed to think. If they had followed me from my office, they knew where I worked. They knew my name. They knew my car. But they did not know where I was tonight. Chapter 6. Sophie. I have a friend named Sophie. She is a journalist for a Marseille newspaper. She is good. She knows things. I called her from my friend's apartment. Sophie, it is Leo. I need help. What kind of help? I am looking for a name. Henry Vasher. 50 years old. Maybe a fake name. He was here in Marseille last week. I do not know that name. But I can ask around. Why are you looking for him? An anonymous client paid me. And now I think other people are looking for him too. Dangerous people. Sophie did not answer for a moment. Leo, listen. There has been a story in the news lately. A big court case. A businessman called Bertrand Mercier. He stole millions of euros from his clients. The case is going to court next month. But the police are looking for a witness who has disappeared. An accountant who worked for Mercier and saw everything. I sat down. My heart was beating fast. Sophie, what is the name of the missing witness? Daniel Roux. And what does he look like? I have his photo at the newspaper. About 50 years old, brown hair, gray suit. A thin face. I closed my eyes. Sophie, that is my man. Chapter 7. The real story. Sophie sent me the photo from the newspaper. It was the same man. Henry Vasher was Daniel Roux. Now everything was clear. Daniel Roux was the only witness against a powerful criminal, Bertrand Mercier. The court case was in 3 weeks. If Roux did not testify, Mercier would go free. Mercier was rich. Mercier had lawyers. If Mercier had hired someone like me, through an anonymous client, they could find Roux without being seen. The client who paid me €200 was not really my client. The client was Mercier's people. They were using me to find Daniel Roux. And when I found him, they would not pay me 1,000 euros. They would kill Roux. And probably kill me too, to keep me quiet. I felt sick. But now I knew the rules of the game. I had to find Roux first and protect him. Chapter 8. The Small Pension. I went back into the streets. But this time, I was not asking, "Have you seen this man?" I was asking, "Where would you hide for 2 weeks in Marseille?" A scared man does not stay in big hotels. He stays in small places, in the old part of the city, where nobody asks questions. He pays in cash. He moves every few days. I made a list of 20 small hotels and pensions in the old port area. I started visiting them one by one. On the third day, at a small pension called Le Petit Marin, I had luck. The owner, an old woman with white hair, looked at the photo for a long time. "Yes," she said quietly. "He is here. Room 4. But he is afraid. Please do not hurt him." "I am not going to hurt him. I am here to help him." The old woman looked at me. Her eyes were tired but smart. "I will believe you. But if you lie, monsieur, I have a son in the police." I went up to room 4. I knocked softly. "Mr. Roux," I said through the door. "My name is Leo Marchand. I am a private detective. I know who you are. I am alone. I am not from Marseille. I want to help you." For a long time, there was silence. Then I heard the lock turn. The door opened a few centimeters. Daniel Roux looked at me. He was thinner than in the photo. He had not slept in many days. His hand was shaking. "How did you find me?" he asked. "The same way they will find you, if we do not move fast." Chapter 9. Inspector Lacroix. I told Daniel Roux the whole story. The anonymous envelope. The 200 euros. The black car. The man with the gold watch. Roux understood quickly. "I am dead," he said. "They will find me. They are too rich, too strong." "No," I said. "We are going to the police. Right now. I cannot trust the police. Mercier has friends in the police. Not all the police. I have a friend. His name is Inspector Lacroix. He is honest. He hates men like Mercier." Roux looked at me for a long time. Then he agreed. I called Lacroix from a public phone. I did not want to use my mobile. I told him I had Daniel Roux. Lacroix did not say much. He gave me a meeting place and a time. That night, we met Lacroix in the basement of a small bookshop in the center of town. Lacroix had 3 trusted men with him. They took Roux to a safe place. Nobody followed us. "Leo," said Lacroix before he left, "you did a good thing tonight. But these people are angry. They will come for you." "I know." Chapter 10. The Office, Monday morning. The trial of Bertrand Mercier started 2 weeks later. Daniel Roux testified for 3 hours. Mercier went to prison for 20 years. His lawyers went to prison too. The man with the gold watch, a man called Olivier Brun, was also arrested. He was the one who had pushed the envelope under my door. I went to the court for 1 hour, just to see Mercier's face when the judge spoke. He did not look at me. But he knew my name. 2 weeks after the trial, I came to my office on a Monday morning. The sky over the port was gray. It was going to rain. On the floor, by the door, there was a white envelope. For a moment, my heart stopped. I picked it up. I opened it carefully. Inside, there was a thank you card from Daniel Roux. And €500 not from him, from his sister, who wanted to help me because I had saved her brother's life. There was no photo this time. No find this man. No mystery. I put the money in my pocket and looked out the window. The first drops of rain were falling on the boats in the port. A private detective in Marseille does not always get paid. Sometimes the work is dangerous. Sometimes the clients are not who they say they are. Sometimes you find out, in the middle of a case, that you are working for the bad people. But sometimes, not often, but sometimes you can choose. That morning, with 500 honest euros in my pocket and the rain falling on the port, I was happy with my choices. The phone rang. Marchand. Mr. Marchand, said a soft voice on the other end. I need your help. I picked up my pen. I am listening. The end.